Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So channel update is out, so I'm going to refer you all to that one if you want to find out what's coming up with the channel. But TLDR, not much has changed. Plans are still to get through Yona and Lazarus and do the normal weekly Shonen Jump reaction stuff. But go watch the video, it's short and sweet, so it shouldn't be too long. So finished recording Spy Family and Kaiju. So without further ado, we're going to dive straight into it with Yona Of The Dawn Volume 11. So yeah, let's get straight into it as we have Chapter 60, Wind in the Young Leaves, Part 1. And we have a flashback to Baby Yona. There's always so much happening outside the palace. The lights are even brighter than the stars. I wonder what they're all doing. We have Yona, age 6. And you have Suwon, age 9, going, "You've never been to the town?" You have Huck, age 9. It's like, "Her Highness has an awful sense of direction. She'd get lost in a heartbeat." And Yona's just like, "Hey, I would not." And she starts just throwing stuff at Huck for being mean. And Suwon's like, "You two are so close, I'm jealous." It's like, "Why would you say that, Suwon?" It's like, "I've only seen it from here. My father says it's too dangerous for me to go." And he's like, "I see." She's like, "Yeah." And she's looking just all despondent. And he's like, "Want to go anyway?" She's like, "Huh?" And Suwon's like, "Want to go see the town around the palace?" She's like, I can't. My father forbids it. It's dangerous out there. Anyway, even if I went out, you see, they're just unable to come up with an excuse. As he's like, "So we're going?" And she just kind of blushes and nods. You have a story about 3 youngsters who sneak into the palace town to have fun. And we see a Yona, "Come on, Yona." And you see her just hiding behind this, this little post. And they're like, "It's all fine, see?" It's like, "But," Huck's like, "You'll stand out more if you act nervous. You're such a chicken. You're always causing a fuss in the palace." And she, with a shocked face, she's like, "Whoa!" She's like, "I am not." She just goes like banging away with her fists. It's like, "There, you're out." And you see just a crowd of people walking by as she's taking it all in with shock and awe. She's like, "There's so many people." It's like, "The 5 tribe councils meeting at the palace right now. We can have fun down here until they're finished." It's like, "Hey, you sure know some weird secret passages." And Suwon's like, "Every day's an adventure." It's like, "Do you both come down to the town a lot?" And you see Huck going, "Grandpa drags me here sometimes." It's like, "You're so lucky. I'd love to come here with General Mundok." It's like, "He's just a nag." These two always get into a fight in town. So what about you, Suwon? It's like, "I've only been here a few times." It's like, "Come on, let's go, let's go." As you know, and a hop as Yoda's just kind of like running around, jumping, trying to peek past the adults. And you see Huck go with a it's like, "Princess," and he hoists her up on his shoulders. You see Suwon and Yona looking at him in surprise with this. And he's like, "Can you see now?" She's like, "Uh-huh." It's like, "Oh, look, a musician." It's like, "I see him." It's like, "Oops." It's like, "Suwon." It's like, "Yikes." Like, "Eep." And you see him trying to wake his way through the crowd and crush of people. As Huck puts out a hand and goes, "Here." And you see him just kind of like grabbing his hand and like dragging him along with the It's like, "What? That's creepy." It's like, "I wonder if this is what having an older brother is like." Do you have a huh? It's like, "Oh." It's like, "In Fuga, there are tons of little kids. Compared to them, you guys are easy to handle." And you see a bunch of them back on the flashback, just all climbing on Huck's shoulders with, "Play with us, Master Huck, play with us." Jeff, "Hey, Huck, what's that?" And you see a think something boiling away in a little wok. Yeah, "I've never seen food like this before. It's like, want to try it?" It's like, "Welcome! Deep fried dumplings are delicious." And Yona's like, "Oh, I can't. There's no food taster. My father will scold me." It's like, "Okay, then I'll check for poison." And you have the vendor just going, "Huh?" It's like, "Poison." It's like, "You're so cool, Huck." And you see a munch and a gasp. As Huck's chowing down, and Suwon goes, "Get down!" And he shoves them both out of the way. Jeff, "What was that for?" And you see it's judo. And you see Sky Tribe Imperial Guard Squad 1 Captain Han Judo 24. Jeff, "Did you find them?" It's like, "Sounds like he's looking for us." It's like, "Those damn brats." It's like, "Language Captain." It's like, "Judo's always so grumpy." Jeff, Huck! It's like, Huck, is it poison? Poison? Oh no! We need to make him throw up, Yona. Put pressure on his solar plexus with your fist. You have a good one, just like punching him in the fist. And Yona's like, got it. It's like, Yona, his solar plexus is over here. She's just trying to choke him. And you have a gah! And cut that out. It's like, I take it back. You two are worse than the kids back home. And you see he caught some water from the vendor. It's like, thank goodness it wasn't poison. You have the vendor going, so, that was a lot of noise about poison in front of my shop. You brats better have money. Did you have any Suwon? He's like, huh? It's like, well, I usually have some. You're saying you don't have any on you? It's like, very well, come to the palace later. And you see an Urk, a Suwon, and Huck just grab Yona and drag her away. What's at the palace? It's like, oh, wait just a minute. And you see Suwon going and waving at someone, explaining something, and just getting handed a bag of money, and he comes back. He goes, here's 50 ren. 9 more dumplings, please. It's like, fine, I guess, since you can pay. It's like, here you go. Huck's like, what's with the money? He's like, who was that guy? It's like, just a generous passerby. It's like, I don't buy it. Why would he give you money? And you see them just biting away at the little mini dongo. And you have, yum, there's sweet potato paste in this, isn't there? It's like, yeah, the paste's really good. It's like, hey, you changed the subject about that man. Do you have like it, Yona? And you see Yona just with like this look of supreme bliss on her face, with a pew, just chewing away happily on the dumplings. You're so cute, Yona. You're like a squirrel. It's like you stuff too much in your mouth. It's like you're gonna choke. It's like, get us some tea, mister. It's like, well, aren't you carefree, you kids? And you see them casually walking through the rest of the festival. And Yona's like, that musician plays such beautiful music. I'd like my father to hear it. So I'd like my father to hear it too. And you see Huck try to imagine you, Han, enjoying music. And you see an oof and a bump and a, hey kid, don't you know what to say when you bump into someone? It's like, wait, you look familiar. And Huck's just like, sorry about my little sister, please forgive her. It's like, forgive her? She can't be forgiven for this. I'm Kang Tae-jun, the Fire Tribe General's second son. And you see catchphrase. And you see nearby, she just picked up a little kitten and is playing with it. It's like, pay attention, brats. If I tell my father about this, you'll get 100 lashes. It's like, come on, I said sorry. Not good enough. Get on your knees and say, I beg forgiveness, Lord Tae-jun. Your compassion is vaster than the sea. It's like, okay, we're very sorry. It's like, you little wretch. It's like, relax and have some dumplings, Lord Tae-jun. It's like, I don't want any. And you see Yona and Huck trying to distract him. And you see Yona gets distracted by some jewelry nearby. As you hear a, hello, little lady. Do you like that? Want me to buy it for you? And then you see, Huck, Yona's gone. It's like, what? It's like, ah, crap. You see, wait, I'm not finished. And you see his big brother going, Tae-jun, why are you wasting time here? Do you have brother? So you said you were going to meet up with father. Oh, sorry, it's the brother going, you said you were going to meet up with father, and here you are fighting with children. You're an embarrassment. This guy, I was just teaching them some manners. Oh, and you see whoever the creepo is has gathered up Yona, he's carrying her away somewhere. And you see Huck going, where did she get to? So we can't exactly start yelling her name. So this is really bad. She's so tiny this crowd could sweep her away. And Suwon's like, Huck, follow me. And I see him just heading down some alleyway. Jeff, look, it's getting darker. He's like, hey Juan, long time no see, how have you been? It's like, hey boy, come over here. And you see like they've gone to what I assume was a bar gambling house. And you have Huck going, Juan? It's like, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's like, how old are you now, Juan? Want a drink? It's like, not today, thanks. It's like, who are these drunks? Why are they calling you Juan? It's like, just men I talk to when I come to town. It's like, you talk to guys like this? They seem like trouble. It's like, nah, they're all decent folks. It's like, you lied about only coming to town a few times, didn't you? You must have snuck down here all the time. So they tell me all kinds of interesting stuff. He's like, we're looking for a little girl who's lost. She's 6 years old with red hair. And you have them talking amongst each other going, have you seen her? It's like, nope, can't say I have. It's like, how about you, Ogie? And you see this pretty looking guy with this blonde hair looking all rumpled, playing what I assume is Shogi. Yes, you have Ogie. Is a game from Coca that's similar to Shogi. And he goes, no clue. Been here playing Ogie for money all day. You go, ah, damn it! So you probably shouldn't talk to him. He's annoyed that he keeps losing. You have a missing girl, huh? That could end badly. You have badly? So other kids have been kidnapped around here recently. It's like, kidnapped? From Hiryu Palace's town? Are you joking? It's like, look, kid. King Gale may be a pacifist with a legendary distaste for weapons, but that doesn't mean the world's all sunshine and roses. What happens to the kidnapped children? Rumor is they're sold to the Kai Empire. You see Suwon looking determined, going, please, Ogie, will you help us with this? He said, why are you trying to get help from this guy? He's the man who's truly in charge in the Eastern Ward. So, Ogie, this is your town. Finding one little girl should be easy. And Ogie goes, know what I'd like? Grilled black pig. So, oh, now he's making demands. So, come on, Ogie, look at Juan's cute little face. And he's like, very well, I'll bring you grilled meat another day. So, cute, this little brat? I want black pig today, and gyoza tomorrow. And you have Ogie, you're out of moves, concede the match. It's like, shut up, give me a sec. It's like, Ogie, please. It's like, you're irritating me, shut up. If I lose this game, I'll be broke. He kind of just tosses his drink at Suwon. And Huck just kind of steps in the way and blocks it with his arm and takes the hit instead. And he goes, someone asking a favor should always be polite. But that doesn't mean you should splash liquor at him. Snap out of your booze-soaked haze or I'll sober you up. And he's just giving this intimidating look. And you see Suwon just kind of taken aback by this. Yeah, boy, I like the look in your eyes. You see, he's looking away. He was stared down. Did that puny kid just scare Ogie? You have Juan, that red-haired brat. She's important to you? It's like, yes, she is. You're gonna owe me for this. It's like, I don't feel like being in your debt. It's like, here's how I'll repay you. Just do this. There, game over. And he does a little talk as he makes a move and goes, checkmate. It's like, huh? Whoa, I won! Alright! It's like, are you kidding? I didn't see that move at all. Goes, that's not fair, Ogie. Jeff, I'm counting on you, Ogie. It's like, I'm no match for you. And he goes, we've got a kit to find, man. Coordinate with folks from other wards. Relay any scrap of information to Juan. And it's just like, we're counting on you. Jeff, huh? It's like, I suddenly feel like Suwon is really amazing. We have Chapter 61, Wind in the Young Leaves, Part 2. And you flash back to Yona with the creep out going, hello, little lady. Do you like that? Want me to buy it for you? And Yona kind of just shakes her head, and she's looking around going, Huck, Suwon, where are you? And you hear, you don't know your way home? You see this ominous hand just reaching for her. So come with me, I'll help you look. You have Suwon, Huck! And you have Ogie going, we're searching for a 6-year-old girl. She has frizzy red hair to her shoulders and is in a pink and white kimono. It's like, hey, what's the girl's name? And he just does like a little X, like, oh, I can't tell you. Cross. It's like, no name? Any other distinguishing traits? He's like, she's cute and has round eyes. And Hawk's like, you really think that's helpful? He's like, alright, look for a cute little girl with round eyes. It's like, yeah! It's like, the men are even more enthusiastic now. Excuse me. And he goes, remember, she could have run into a kidnapper. Tread carefully. Jav, look at all these people. How many allies does he have? And you see them going through the town asking for information from all the people they're meeting. It's like, Juan, there was a red-haired kid sitting on another kid's shoulders at a dumpling stand. Some musician said they saw a girl. That was right before she disappeared. Search around there. Oki in the southern ward says she hasn't seen anyone suspicious. Have you received any intel about the western ward? There are lots of secret paths through there. We searched all the shops on the western road, and Juan, no sign of her. Any hidden rooms or underground passages? Juan, a girl matching your description was seen in front of Hyundan's jewelry shop. That's useful. Any more details? It's like I spoke with the owner. A man came in and talked to the girl. He said he'd buy her something, but she refused. What did he look like? It's like a big guy, dark skin. It's kidnapping starting to look likely. It's like, Ogie, could you seal off the entrance to the eastern ward, as well as the pathways to the other wards? just for a while? It's like, seal him off. That's kind of tricky. It takes a lot of coordination. And Suwon's like, is it too difficult? And he's like, not for me it isn't. I'll go talk to some people. Hang on. So I'm counting on you. It's like, seal the ward? It's like, yeah, the main gate and other entrances are all being closed up. Anyone going through will be searched. And you see Hawk just shivering as he goes, amazing. And you see Suwon just having this calculating look on his face. So you have a few words from Suwon have spurred the whole town into action. These men are incredible at gathering and relaying information. It's like they put Captain Judo of the Imperial Guard to shame. It's like has been searching for her, Yona and her friends for a while now. It's like, but they don't give their information to just anyone. I bet that's because they're dealing with Suwon. Despite his looks, Suwon is like a big sparkling beam of light. I believe he has the power to turn the situations around. Once people realize that, they all want to get close to him. And you see Suwon going, they're searching everyone who tries to leave the ward. So we've got to look for suspicious people. A kidnapper probably wouldn't harm her for no reason. We've got to find Yona. And you see them just fist bumping as they go. That's the plan. It's like, Your Highness, I hope you're safe. Jeff, what's going on? They're searching people? It's like, hurry and let us through. And you see just a crowd forming up at the gates. And you see Huck running through going, a large dark-skinned man, a dark-skinned... It's like, I found him! A large dark-skinned man. And he goes, stop right there! And you have a, whoa! And you see, what's going on here? And you have a, It's like, huh? You're from the Earth Tribe. He's like, I'm Gunte. It's like, you're General Mundok's boy, aren't you? What are you doing? It's like, why are you here? It's like, what about the meeting? It's like, it's over. I was just about to go home. You want a piggyback ride? Ask General Mundok for one. I bet he'd like that. Jav, this line's not moving at all. And as you see Huck's on the shoulders of Gunte, you see the guy that actually kidnapped Yona running away from the gate full tilt with a cart with the sack tied up on the back, which I assume is Yona. And Huck notices him with a whish. He leaps off of Gunte, who goes, try to stay out of trouble. And you hear a thud as he lands in the kidnapper's cart. Jeff, wow! It's like, where'd he come from? It's like, I'll just be inspecting this. He's like, hey, stop! And he rips it open and he sees that Yona's trussed up inside with a little gag on her mouth. Jeff, oh, it's like, this is... And you see Huck just looking furious going, you're not authorized to take this with you. Jeff, ugh! As he leaps into the air and with the wham and a kick knocks out the kidnapper. And he lands with the top. Oh, not bad, kid, not bad. Suwon's like, isn't Huck amazing? And the kidnapper just pulls out a knife and goes, you brat. It's like, what kind of loser pulls a knife on a kid? You have General Gunte. It's like, don't get smart with me. Jeff, what do you... Jeff, what do you think you're doing to my grandson, you waste of air? So, Mundok just comes running in and slams the kidnapper face first into the ground. And Huck's like, Grandpa. He's like, it's General Mundok! General Mundok! Like, that kid's Mundok's grandson? Jeff, and it's like, out of my way! As the other kidnapper tries taking off. And you have that guy's name, who I cannot remember for the life of me. Give me a second. Oh, Judo. And you see Judo's blocking his way, and he reaches in and pulls out his swords. And Jared, It's like, wow, it's Captain Judo of the 1st Imperial Guard Squad. It's like, you got the best part. He's like, Lord Gunte. It's like, there's so many important people here. You see, as he removes the gag, Yona kind of just like groggily gets up. It's like Suwon! It's like, ha! It's like, hey! It's like, are you awake, princess? And you see Huck! And she just kind of like grabs him in a hug and starts crying. And you see a grab as Mundok's like, what's going on here, Huck? It's like, Grandpa! And you see Judo going, there you are, Lord Suwon, Princess Yona. It's like, hi, Judo. It's like, I told you to stay out of trouble until the council meeting ended. I've told you again and again not to leave the palace. You endangered Her Highness. You'll pay for that with your life. Off with your head. You see Judo lecturing and be like, now how exactly did you get out here? And Gunte's like, what's the big deal? You caught the kidnapper. So you shut up, General Gunte. You see, it's like, we really got chewed out. It's like, yeah, Judo practically grew horns. So King Hill was really shaken up. Guess it's not surprising since the queen died so recently. It's been getting harder and harder for Yona to go outside. Excuse me. And yeah, this is my fault. It's like, no, it's mine. Sky put Her Highness in danger. I won't be allowed to visit the palace anymore. Or no, that's sorry. Huck, when I put Her Highness in danger, I won't be allowed to visit the palace anymore. Zuwan's like, no way! His Majesty and Yona both love you. They'd never do that. It's like, I'm not so sure about Her Highness. Zuwan's like, I won't let that happen. If anyone tries it, I'll change their mind. And he just smiles and goes, you sure are something. He's like, huh? So you got all those men to help. You were so confident. It was amazing. It was like the whole town revolved around you today. Suwon's like, it's because you were there. He's like, huh? It's like, you're so strong and reliable and cool. It inspires me. Every time I see you, I want to be at your level. I wish I were more like you. I think about that constantly. It's so frustrating. We're right next to each other, but you feel out of reach. You're everything I aspire to be. And Huck's taken aback by this, as Suwon just kind of beatifically smiles at him. He's like, Huck? And he's like, because he just kind of ruffles his hair, Suwon's hair. What was that for? It's like, you should dream bigger. He's like, what? It's like, you should at least say you want to rule the country. He's like, huh? Thinks back to, you're everything I aspire to be. It's like, he's so incredible, and he's part of the royal family. He can make people want to do what he asks, and yet he's focusing on me. You see a Huck? It's like, I'm leaving. It's like, huh? It's like, I'm going to ask Grandpa to train me once I get home, and then I'm going to study. It's like, there's no time to waste. If you're aiming to reach me, I need to be worthy of that, so that we can keep on walking at each other's side. Chapter 61 end. We get to chapter 62 before the blade strikes. And you have a foot and a yeah! As you see Yona kind of just swinging the bokken with both hands. And you see a thunk as Huck just casually defends. You see her slashing out with the sword and sending Yona's bokken flying away with the foof and a shunk. It's like, It's like, I think that's enough for today, princess. It's like, I'm not finished yet. She grabs the sword again, and he comes and bonks her on the head and says, and I said we're done. Your Highness. It's like, you look, it's like, oh, I'm starving. It's like, Yun, bring some food. And you see Yona's just all dirty and battered and bruised looking. Yun's like, excuse you, I'm not your mother. It's like, yay, food! And Gija's like, Huck, what have you done to Her Highness? He's like, huh? I'm training her, you know that. He's like, here's yours, Gija. It's like, she's injured. Did you do that to her? And you see Yun going, turn this way, Yona. I'll put some salve on you. And you see Zeno going, the young lady was unable to block the fellow's attack and was thrown back. She was almost kicked, too. And you see Gija going, kicked? This guy didn't kick her. And then Yona's like, you can, though. You always hold back. I'm training to get stronger. Going easy on me doesn't help. So you don't hold back? You attack Her Highness in earnest? And then Jaeha's like, think, Gija. If Huck fought Yona seriously, she'd be killed on the spot. And he's about to faint, killed on the spot? And you have as I think Huck's trying to grab some of Gija's food. And he swaps his bowl to the other side where Owl comes in and starts munching away at it. And you have Yun going, I figured I should train, or no, it's Yona going, I figured I should train extra hard while you decide where to go. And Yun's like, sorry, I'm considering options right now. I rode Jaeha around some nearby areas to investigate. He's like, I'm a horse now? It's like, I know where we want to wind up, but things are a bit tricky. We can't get there right away. It's like, in that case, I look forward to more tomorrow, Master Huck. He goes, very well. It's like, did you call him Master Huck? It's like, I wonder if Yona will heal faster if she eats this. It's like, Yona's just fine, Sinha. It's like, Huck, if anything happens to Her Highness, and you see him just cramming a fruit into his mouth, so he goes, shut up, White Snake, have a loquat. It's like, it's tasty. And Jaeha's like, come now, Gija, try to consider Master Huck's feelings. Training his beloved Yona means he has to point his blade at her. And you see a quip as he just pulls his glaive on him. And Jaeha just hold it off with his foot. As Huck's like, your mouth must be tired. Want me to carve you a new one? It's like, did I say something wrong? And you see, what are you fighting about? So don't worry about it, princess. Go to 100 practice swings. It's like, huh? Right now? Weren't we finished? Jaeha's like, you're so slow. You should just tell her. And you see her just going, 1, 2, 3 as she's swinging the sword. It's like, don't you dare tell her, you droopy-eyed freak. It's like, so you admit you love her? It's like, how cute. It's like, how about you stop teasing people who are younger than you? It's like, it keeps you honest. It's like, it's not about being honest. It doesn't seem like the right time's all. It's like, I have a lot going on. And you see Yona's just 11, 12 as she continues swinging, completely oblivious as she's focused on training. Jaeha's like, if you take too long, I'll steal her away from you. And Huck's like, you sound like you're joking, but you're kind of serious too. Having mixed feelings, Jaeha? And you see them just exchanging glares at each other. Yeah, will you two cut that out? We're a group here. You'll just make things messier. What a pain. See, later that night, whoa, Yona, your legs are all scratched up. He's like, oh, they are. And Yona's like, you don't have to be so calm. You're still a girl. She's like, but I hurt all over, so I didn't notice every single scrape. And he's like, make sure you rub salve all over then. And you see Jaeha going, someone called? I have a real gift for gently applying salve. And Huck just grabs him by the ponytail and goes, no one called you. Go to bed. And you see later that night, Yona's practicing with the real sword. And Huck goes, you're getting pretty good, Your Highness. She's like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, then, let's go kill Suwon. Let's hurry back and avenge my father. And Huck's taken aback as a Prin? And then I'm assuming he's having a nightmare as he hallucinates Suwon kind of shadowing behind Yona as he lifts up his sword. And he wakes up with a start and a cold sweat. And he sees Yona just sleeping beatifically in the tent. The guy just strokes her cheek and goes, she's breathing. Why wouldn't she be? And Java, what are you doing to Her Highness? Yeah, grind. As Gija's also tossing and turning in his own nightmare. And Huck's like, the question is, what are you dreaming about me doing? As he goes and pinches his cheek. And you see Jaeha going, oh, you're so dirty, Huck, mumble. Huck goes and stomps on him and goes, you're awake, aren't you, droopy eyes? Stop pretending to say weird things in your sleep. He's like, that hurts. And you see a swing as Huck's going and practicing with his glaive. And he goes, no matter how strong Her Highness becomes, no matter what she aims to achieve, it's my job to put a blade in you. Even if it costs me my life. And he sees Zeno just kind of sitting on a nearby rock outcropping, going, don't drive yourself into a corner. You'll take years off your life, young fellow. He's like, you're awake? He's like, the moon's light's beautiful. And the air's so cool and crisp, but all your intense feelings are distracting. He's like, gosh, I'm so sorry. And Zeno goes, you shouldn't rush to throw your life away. There's a faint smell of death clinging to you. And he's like, what, you're predicting my death now? He's like, no, sorry to scare you. He's like, I'm not scared. But you have a worrying habit of getting injured. Excuse me. It was like, you can talk. You're one of the 4 dragon warriors. Whitesnake thinks it's his duty to throw his life away for the princess. Sure acts like it anyway. And Jav, it's different for the 4 dragons. We may die, but if we do, we'll be reborn. If a dragon dies, a replacement will always come. But that's not true for you. So be more careful. And Huck goes, you guys are no more replaceable than I am. And Zeno just smiles at him. And then he bows and goes, on behalf of all 4 dragons, Zeno thanks you. It's like, you're the dragon I understand least. It's like, what you see is what you get. It's like, I may not be one of the greatest dragons, but we're all here with you. Relax. Try not to shoulder everything alone. And you see, oh look, there's the young lady now. And you see Yona coming up going, I was wondering where you'd gone. Just a night stroll. But now Zeno is off to bed. And he leaves Huck and Yona together. And he's like, you want something? And she's like, oh, right. It's like, here. And she hands him a loquat. He's like, a loquat? It's like, don't tell anyone. It was meant for Yun's fruit wine. He'll notice. It's like, when you got up and left, you looked a little pale. It's like, wait, when did she wake up? It's like, eating something sweet might help. And he's like, thanks. It's like, Huck, if there's things you'd rather be doing, that's okay, you can. It's like, huh? It's like, I've been taking so much time by ordering you to give me sword training. If I'm being selfish. Is that hard on you? If there's anything else you want to do, I want to respect it. He's like, not really. It's fine. I can get He goes, not really. And she goes, it's fine. I can get Sinha to train me. It'll be hard to convince him, though. He goes, it's true that focusing so much on you has been hard on me. And she's just shocked by this. But Huck then grabs her by the arm, draws her in with his arm on the waist. And she's like, in that case, he goes, there. I've taken your advice and done something I wanted to do. Thank you for being so considerate. It's like, good night. And Yona's just standing there blushing, being like, huh? And he just walks away munching the fruit. So we have chapter 62 end. And we have chapter 63, Swaying Journey. And Yun goes, this might seem sudden, but I've figured out where to go next. I'm thinking of going to the Kai Empire for a while. It's like, the Kai Empire? Really? It's like, yeah. Are you sure, Yun? That's an enemy nation. And Gijo's like, you're usually so cautious. Why do you want to go there? It's like, sure, I'm cautious, but I'm also awfully curious to learn more about them. But personal curiosity isn't why I want to go. It's a northern land that's colder than the Firelands. I want to learn how the people of the Kai Empire live. Maybe we'll find a crop that'll flourish in Fire Tribe lands. So again, Gijo goes, wouldn't it be dangerous for Her Highness there? So that made me hesitant too. We already stand out too much as it is. So Yona, you and Thunderbeast can wait at Iksu's place. Jayha's with me, and if Sinha and Gija come along, it's like, what about Zeno? And Yona's like, I can't do that. You're going in order to help Koka, right? If that's your decision, then I'm going too. It's like, yeah, I figured you'd say that. Alright then, let's go to the Kai Empire. And you see them just walking at this rickety drawbridge. Yeah, once we cross the bridge and the mountains, we'll be in the Empire. So this sure is a rickety bridge. Jayha's like, I found it while leaping around and checking things out. Merchants and travelers probably used this bridge back when Koka's domain extended beyond the mountains. It likely hasn't been used in a long time, so watch your step. And you see a slip and an oh as Yona stumbles back and Hawk catches her with a hey, losing your footing before we even get onto the bridge. And she goes, I'm fine. And goes, goes a little bit quickly, goes away. Hawk's just kind of confused. You have a creak, like the boards are rotting. They look like they're about to give way. Now Yona or Yun, it's like, no! And you see Gija just falling through one of the boards. And you have Gija! And you have Jaya going, I'd save Yona or Yun if they fell, but the rest of you are on your own. I didn't even manage to finish saying it. You see, he's grabbed Gija around the waist. Like, before this happened. It's like, I saved you after all. It's like, are you alright, Gija? Like, I'm fine. My whole life flashed before my eyes. It was a unique experience. My life mostly involved Granny. Huck's like, I'm so sad that I only got to see that hilarious moment from behind. It's like, you'd better watch yourself when you cross the bridge, Dark Dragon. And Yun's like, I thought something like this might happen, so I bought a longboard. I'll pass it forward, lay it over the broken area. And Yona's like, you think of everything. And Gija's like, Yun, isn't there any other way there? It's like, technically, but we'd stand out too much the flatland border. Oh, and besides, Fire Tribe and Kai Empire troops guard the border there. The thing is, there aren't that many of them these days. It's like, huh? I scouted the area with Jayha before, and there weren't that many troops on guard. Yeah, watch your step, Princess. That's sort of disturbing, actually. Yun's like, I agree. I expected to see a lot of armed troops, so it felt off to me. But I still figured the odds were too high that we'd encounter soldiers. So I chose this route. So you picked the path that can kill us without help from any soldiers at all? And Yona's like, what I know about the Kai Empire... I was like, Yona, or is that Yun? Going, what I know about the Kai Empire is that it's a large nation with vast stretches of land and a powerful military, but that's really about it. There are plenty of things I won't know unless I go there. I'll tell you everything I do know on the way. I assume that's Yuna saying it. So you see them crossing a stream and then having a little break as Yun gets some stew ready. Jeff, the Kai Empire is no longer nearly as mighty as it used to be. It held huge amounts of land, but now it's divided into north and south. North Kai is under constant attack from the nomads who live even farther north. The Kai Imperial Army has its hands full protecting several regions. All across North Kai, some strong families have consolidated their power and influence. They're the ones really in charge. The nation as a whole isn't quite an empire. And the south? Many nobles, bureaucrats, and merchants have moved south. The southern climate is much more hospitable. The standard of living is higher. For now, the emperor's cousin has taken the throne in the south. It's like, so the emperor's lost his power and the local families in the area have gained it instead. It all reminds Zeno of King Il and the tribes of Koka. And you see the other dragon just kind of grabbing and closing his mouth and going, keep quiet about that, Zeno. So I see some similarities too. Suwon said that he was taking his revenge for Uncle Yuhan's murder, but I've heard that father was so determined to avoid conflict that he let himself be guided by the whims of other tribes and nations. Was Suwon trying to keep Koka from weakening? It's like, anyway, the place we're headed is called Sen Province. This area is safe from attacks from nomads and nowhere near the center of power. It's ruled by Ri Hazara, the head of a mighty family that's been steadily gaining power for itself. And Gijo's like, how risky is this? He's like, I plan to go to some small farming town. So as long as we keep a low profile, we should be fine. As long as we keep a low profile. It's like, we just have to keep a low profile. It's like, you said that 3 times. It's like, because it's important. And you see, Gija, pull that in. Jeff, okay. It's like, alright, the tent's ready. It's like, amazing. When did you make this? It's like, we needed one to keep everyone warm and dry in these mountains. It's like, whew, we were always the only ones with a tent. Oh, no, sorry, it's, I assume that's still you going, whew, we were always the only ones with a tent. I figured we needed one for everyone else. It's like, there are a lot of us, but I finally got a sheet of fabric that was large enough. Now you can sleep peacefully, Gija. You don't have to be afraid of bugs. And Gija's just like, I'm so grateful, Yun, you're a true genius. It's like, come on, Yun, let's go to bed. It's like, oh, I'll sleep in this tent tonight. You and Thunderbeast sleep in that one. Yona just goes like, huh? How come? So what if a bear turns up? You and I wouldn't be able to fend it off if it attacked. Thunderbeast would be fine even against a tiger. And he's like, in that case, why not Gija? And Gija just starts blushing, going, Her Highness and me? I could never, I'll keep watch outside. It's like, Yona, let Gija get some rest. And Jaeha's like, then I'll join her. It's like, Zeno too. It's like, no, the yellow one has no combat skills and the green one is dangerous himself. It's like, then how about Sinha? And Hawk's like, do you have a problem sharing with me? Jaeha's like, what's wrong, Yona? Hawk would always have been your first choice before. Are you two fighting? It's like, no, it's not like that. It's more like, well, Hawk did something strange. And Jaeha's like pondering, like Jaeha's idea of strange, like something strange? It's like, oh, like what? And she just gets embarrassed and goes, it's nothing. So what does that mean? I'm dying to know. It's like pondering. It's like Jay has many interpretations of strange. And you see up here, and you see you see as Jolt as Hawk's just doing a sexy lounge inside the tent while he's waiting for her. So wow, this tent's pretty comfy. Don't mind bugs like White Snakes does, but it's nice. But it's nice that there aren't any. Best of all, I like that I can roll around. It is cramped though. She's like, Hawk, there's no room for me to sleep. And with a swipe, he looks at her. And he comes in close and goes, Your Highness. And he reaches out the hand. And she's like, Hawk, wait! And he grabs the tent, pulls aside the curtain, and Jaeha's just standing there with his arm crossed, just smiling at them. He goes, Yun, tie this guy up. It's like, you can tie me up really tight. He's like, huh? I don't want to. It's like, Princess, I'll sleep outside tonight. More weirdos like him could turn up. Call for me if anything happens. And it's like, huh? It's like, oh, Huck. It's like, wait, I want you to sleep here. He's like, you want me to sleep here? It's like, you usually sleep sitting somewhere uncomfortable. Looks like your neck, back, and shoulders might be sore. It's like, am I an old man? It's like, I'll stay if you order me to. Are you alright with that? She just gets embarrassed and starts blushing again. And he goes, I did what I did last night because you told me what to do what I wanted. She's like, I know you like to tease me, but jokes like that really throw me off balance. Don't do that again. Huck's like, jokes. I see. I'm not confident enough anyway. It's like, alright, I won't do it again. It's like, oh good, well, let's get to bed. And he just gets this evil, like, narrowed-eyed look. It's like, don't look so transparently relieved. Do you want me to take advantage of you? And she's like, oh, this sudden relief made me sleepy. It's like, good night. It's like night. Later, as she's sleeping, she wakes up and she sees Huck's face. It's like, oh dear. It's like, I feel kind of peculiar. I usually sleep beside Yun, so Huck suddenly seems so much bigger. This face of Huck's. I've known him for so long. How strange. She kind of just has to like run her fingers over his chin. And he opens one eye and goes, tease me too much and I'll attack you. And she just looks shocked. He's like, you're like a bear. It's like, who are you calling a bear? And she turns around and goes, I really do feel strange today, somehow. It's like, I feel a little more nervous than usual. As you have chapter 63 end. And we have, I can finally see it, the Kai Empire. We have chapter 64, Senri Village, Sen Province, Kai Empire. We have, there's a small village. It's like, Yona, someone's collapsed over there. And you have, oh no! And you see someone, I think, was hauling water with like the buckets on the end of like the long stick. Someone's like hauling that, and they've collapsed. So they go dashing up. And Huck just kind of cradles him and goes, hey, are you alright? You have this young woman waking up with, it's like, huh? Oh my! It's like, who are you? Such a handsome guy! And she's just like, sparkling at Huck. So I'd say she's fine. It's Huck. I was like, are you alright? Are you feeling ill? Would you like a loquat, young lady? It'll make you feel better. And Jaeha's like, I would be delighted to carry a beautiful lady such as yourself. It's like, what's going on? So many beautiful people! This is so strange! Yun's like, oh no, I've been planning to scout the area with a small group. They're already standing out. He's like, I'll just bet you're traveling performers, right? And Gida's about to say no, and then Yun covers his mouth and goes, yes, exactly, that's right, traveling performers. It's like, who's a performer? First bandits, now performers? So there's no other way to explain you bizarre creatures. And Yun's like, if you're not feeling well, I have some medicine. And she's like, I'm fine. I was just feeling a bit dizzy because I've been doing manual labor since this morning. And Jaeha's like, manual labor? A delicate girl like you? It's like, most young men have gone to the capital of Sen to serve in the military. And Yun's like, it's the same everywhere. It's like, but we get so few visitors, I never would have imagined having so many hot guys come by at once. The countryside's not so bad after all. And he's like, her spirits seem good. He's like, say, why don't you all come stop by my village? Tonight is a special night. It's like, special? It's like, in Senri Village, we're holding our fire quelling festival tonight. It's like, oh, Aro, who are those people? It's like, hello, beautiful men. Aren't they traveling? It's like, aren't they? They're traveling performers. And you see all the ladies just kind of gathering around, all the dudes. It's like, I collapsed out there and this wonderful guy helped me. It's like, wish me luck. It's like, really? No fair. And you have, where are you from? It's like, that's a secret. It's like, I've never seen a man with such an amazing complexion. It's like, come on, please show us your face. It's like, you're so adorable. It's like, you're much more so, young lady. It's like, the people around here sure are lively. And I was like, uh-huh. And you see that the village seems to be bustling with activity. It's like, a long time ago, this area belonged to Koka and was part of the Fire Tribe. Their homes are constructed very similarly to the ones in the Firelands. More importantly, the land itself is very similar. If anything, the climate here is even harsher. Despite that, this village is in good shape. They even have livestock. I wouldn't say they live in luxury, but they seem much better off than the people of the Fire Tribe. What's making the difference? And you see Yun kind of kneeling down, like crumbling some of the soil, and he goes, the soil is pretty much the same. It's like a water reservoir. They bring water from the mountains, store it this way. So water's not abundant here either. And he sees the little wicker basket, and he goes to the tum tum, goes looking in. And you see that it's full of grain. You have thief! And June starts with a jolt. It's like, did you come to steal our Isa grain? It's like, huh? It's like, no, not at all. It's like, I was brought here by one of the village women. I'm a performer. We were told there's a festival. It's like, a traveling performer? You mean you're a dancer? It's like, huh? It's like, I said, are you a dancer? It's like, oh, yes, that's right. It's like, I see. Well, if you're a dancer, I guess it can't be helped. It's like, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, did you say this is called Isa grain? It's like, it's similar to millet. What kind of crop is it? It's like, you don't know about Isa? Where in the world are you from? And Ewan's like, I guess I've been so focused on dancing that I haven't learned very much else. It's like, I see. If you've been focused on dancing, it can't be helped. It's like, he seems hung up on dancers. It's like, when these lands became part of the Kai Empire instead of the Kingdom of Koka, Isa came down from farther north. We grind it into powder and add water and milk to make dumplings, which we bake and eat. If it came from farther north, does that mean it's resistant to the cold and arid climates? Right, it doesn't require as much water as rice, and it stores well. It's like, how so? So the grain in this basket is 10 years old, but it's still edible. Then you see Isa grain, a crop that does well in cold and arid climates. It's like, wow. It's like the Land of Fire had this, and you hear, you can't have any. It's like, huh? It's like, you can't have any. What? It's like, I haven't even said anything yet. It's like, don't play dumb. I see the way you look at it, you outsider. Do you know how hard this village has worked to grow Isa and protect our land? I can't just hand it out to some performer who came from far away. You're a cute dancer, but this village isn't exactly prosperous. It's like, I'd consider giving you a bag for 100,000 jin. 100,000? It's like, I don't have that kind of money. It's like, I don't have any local currency at all. It's like, not surprising. I didn't think it'd be that easy. And the old man goes, but that doesn't mean I won't let you taste it. It's like, huh? It's like, for tonight's fire-quelling festival, I'll be serving soup with dumplings made of Isa grain. You can eat your fill. And Yun's like, thank you, sir. It's like, on one condition, though. And you see later with Jaeha going, I was curious about the Kai Empire, and it turns out to be amazing. And Gijo's like, I suspect you're the only one enjoying this. Look at Sinha, he's a wreck, and you see Sinha's just crouched over, in shock from having his mask taken away. He's like, you're such an innocent with so many girls interested in you, why not enjoy it? It's like, back home, Granny introduced me to quite a few potential marriage partners. Several of them fought over me. Finally, one powerful woman charged into my sleeping quarters stark naked. Ever since, I found assertive women quite intimidating. Jaeha's like, your village suddenly sounds far more appealing than I thought. And you see Yona's just got her hands on her knees looking contemplative. Jaeha's like, what's wrong, Yona? You're awfully quiet. She's like, Huck is surprisingly popular, isn't he? And you see that all the, Aro is kind of just leading him around by the hand, going, you're looking for a weaponry shop? We don't have one. But tomorrow I'll take you to a larger town. It's like, nah, it's no big deal. It's like, not surprising at all. Of course he's popular. It's like, you think? It's like, my standards are quite high given my own beauty, and I think he's very good looking. If I were a woman, I'd charge right at him. It's like, no charging. You have Yona going, thinking back, when I was at the palace, the court ladies were always talking about him, and he's always surrounded by girls in Fuga. Jaeha's like, does that bother you? She's like, huh? Are you jealous? It's like, nope. And he's just like a scarful of smirk as he goes, she didn't hesitate for a second, Huck, that's hilarious. It's like, but I'd say the fact that she's noticing these things means she's becoming a little interested in Huck. He goes, well, it's no concern of mine. And you see Yoda, and you see Grun coming in, dressed in this very, very pretty looking dress. You have Yun, you look so cute. Why are you dressed like that? It's like, it's a long story. I need your help. I found out that these people grow a grain that could be perfect for what we need. It's like, I knew you could do it. You work fast. It's like, it's called Isa grain, and the man in charge of it won't give me any. But he said if we wear these clothes and dance at the festival tonight, he let me try some food made from Isa. He said his late grandmother was married in these clothes. And she's like, you'll be dancing? That's wonderful. I can't wait. He's like, I don't know how to dance. I don't mind wearing these clothes, pouring drinks, and paying attention to people, but And Kiida's like, you don't? It's like, I want to try and ease a dish. If it's good, I'll visit other villages in Sen province and try to get them to share some grain. He goes, Yona, you said that you're good at dancing and playing the koto, right? She's like, huh? It's like, well, I never said I was good at it. I learned the basics, that's all. So that's more than I can do. So, but that man wants to see you dance, doesn't he? You have to look cute for him. She's like, you're much cuter. It's like, so that's not what I meant. It's like, anyway, please, stand in for me, Yona. It's like, if I knew how to dance, I'd do it. It's humiliating to admit I don't know how. That ease of dish is at stake. It's like, well, it's like, oh, you gonna dance, princess? You see Hawk sneaking up behind her. It's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. You dance like an awkward chicken. And Yona gets mad and goes, Arr, I'll do it. It's like, thank you, Yona. I'll make sure you learn how to dance next time. It's like, what's next time? Or no, sorry, when's next time? And you see later that night they're setting up for the festival, setting up a giant bonfire. You have people that started gathering. I'm an outsider. Should I really be dancing? What is that droopy-eyed fool doing? Yeah, it's a festival, so all that matters is everyone enjoying themselves. That's what the women said. So what does a fire-quelling festival commemorate? So back when King Junam ruled his village, this village was the site of a battle between Koka and the Kai Empire when they were fighting over territory. Literal flames of war engulfed the village. Homes were destroyed, many people died. The man with the grain told me how this is a small village. This is a small village now, but it used to be a lot bigger. So this festival is about quelling the souls of the dead, the fires of war, and the fury of the Fire Tribe. So the Fire Tribe? It's like, yeah. This land was stolen from the Fire Tribe. People are afraid that there could be another war over it. It's like, I see. And that's all the more reason for me to dance. It's like, you'll be fine. These people want a merry festival to bring good fortune. They'll all get a good laugh out of your chicken dance. It's like, hey, Hawk, maybe you don't know, but I spent a lot of time practicing so I could show Suwon. She stops with a start. And you see that there's a silence falls between them. You have, hey, Yona, I didn't know you had something this beautiful. You should wear it for your dance. And he takes out the little hairpiece pin that Suwon gave her, and she snatches it out of her hand. He's like, Yona? I was like, she's like, he's like, it's all right. You don't need to worry. You can do whatever you want with that. And you see Hawk just walking away. And you have, maybe you don't know, but it's like, I do know. You wanted to show Suwon. Back at the palace, you practiced playing the koto and dancing. You can't force yourself to get rid of that hairpin. Because even after everything, he's still in your heart. You have chapter 64 end. You have chapter 65, the fire quelling festival begins. You see a crackle as the festival's getting underway. And you see J-Hop playing the flute and all the women going, wow, as they are all like clapping and dancing. And you see a toss as Zeno's doing a little juggling act. And you have, I can hear J-Hop playing. The fire quelling festival has begun. It's like, hey, what do you think of this hair ornament? It's like, no, too old-fashioned. Maybe this one? It's like, and you see Yona's getting all dressed up. You have, my head feels heavy. It's like, don't be silly, you're a dancer, you should go all out. That outfit is wedding garb, isn't it? That's right, we don't see many dancers here. She's like, will I be able to dance? It's like, why do you wear your hair so short anyway? You've got such beautiful hair, you should grow it out. You won't attract men if your hair is as short as a boy's. It's like, I wouldn't say that. She's drowning in handsome guys. It's like, oh my, that's true. And so they're all just like getting all gossipy. He's like, so, are you involved with any of them? It's like, no. Are any of them involved with anybody else? It's like, I don't think so. And all the women are like, yay! So did you hear that? They're all single. The god of love has blessed the fire quelling festival. It's like, all right! It's like, I like that pale one. He's so beautiful and elegant. I never imagined men like him existed. And she's talking about Gija. It's like, I like the one with green hair. He's kind and fun to talk to, and his voice is so sexy. Tell me more. So did you see the masked one's eyes? They're so pretty that you just get lost in them. It's like, I want to see. It's like, oh, and Zuno and Yun are so cute. And Yona's just smiling and giggling. Oh, they're all so popular. Then she hears, well, I like Hawk best. I can see why. He's really cool. I figured Aro would say that, so I kept my eyes on the others. It's like, hey, that's right, stay back. I'm gonna make my move tonight. I'd love to bear him some children. And Yona's just getting all shocked by this. Like, ooh, are you planning to charge at him? She's like, the women of the Kai Empire are amazing. You see, look, you're shocking the dancer. It's like, oh, isn't there someone you love? Someone whose arms you dream of feeling around you? Come on, there must be somebody. She's like, someone I love? So the person I love is... And she thinks back to Suwon. She goes, there was someone. There's just some awkward silence as Aro goes, alright, that's enough. Withdraw, ladies. And she goes and gives Yona a hug and goes, Gloom, I'm so sorry you've had a rough love life, haven't you? We're just so excited to have such fine men visiting our village. We don't often see such wonderful people. Men here are all brutes. It's like, really? So the men who sometimes come are soldiers, apparently, but they're rough and scary. It's like, soldiers come to this village? It's like, oh my, is this yours? It's like, oh, this is gold. It's so exquisite. And they take the cover off the hairpin. So you should wear this. It matches your hair perfectly. She goes, no, I won't. I'll never wear that hairpin again. And she goes, Yona, she thinks back to, Yona, I hear you started learning how to dance. I bet you're really cute. I hope you'll show me someday. She's like, I practiced for you. Dancing was entertaining, but that doesn't suit me now. And she goes, do any of you have a sword? It's like, a sword? It's like only this rusty old one. It was used in a war long ago. And Yona grabs and she wraps the little bead around it. She goes, I've traded my fan for a sword. She goes, this is perfect. And you see later that night, hey girl, when do I get to see the dancer? Yona's like, I'm not a girl, but whatever. It's like, soon now. Our troupe's best dancer will be performing. It's like, don't forget to let me try that Iza dish in return. Because that depends on the dancer. You originally said you were a dancer, mutter. It's like, I hope she shows off her legs and hips when she dances. Like, sorry, no, she doesn't do that. And you see Jaeha's tune has changed. And you see a murmur. And you see Yona taking off with a starting pose. Love the artwork on that. And you see her slowly opening her eyes and starting to do like these dancing, flowing movements. And you see everyone's just stunned by this. It's like a sword dance at the fire quelling festival? A sword dancing bride? Is she inciting conflict? It's like, no, that's not the feeling I'm getting from this. That dance is like a prayer and sorrow. And you see Aro going, Huck, so this is where you got to. I've been looking for you. Your troupe's dancer is wonderful. She handles that battered old sword so easily. After the festivities, would you like to come to my house? It's not much to look at, but we could have a good time. She sees Huck's expression as he's watching Yona. And you see one of her friends noticing, going, what's the matter, Aro? He's right over there. Weren't you going to make a move? It's like, yeah, that's okay. There was such a deep look of sadness in his eyes. And you see Yoon going, Yona's so lovely. You have Swip as the old man gets up and is like, oh, what is it, sir? Aren't you enjoying her performance? So maybe she's not showing enough leg for you? And he's like, it's just about time to serve the Iza dumpling soup. And Yoon gets all excited and goes, I'll help you serve! He goes chasing after him. And Yona comes to a stop as all the Kai Empire people start cheering, going, wow! Clapping for her. And you see Yoon helping to dole out the soup as they're all feasting and having a good time. And you see Yona's gone off to sit by herself. She's looking at the hairpin. And you hear a princess. He's like, Huck. And he comes and sits down next to her and goes, you did great. Here's that soup with the Iza grain dumplings. She goes, ooh. It's like, it's delicious. There's a hint of sweetness. If Yun tries it, he'll want the grain even more. Ugh, excuse me. Oh, something stuck in my nose. See a munch month as they're silently eating. He's like, did you watch me dance? He's like, yup. You almost fumbled that sword several times. She's like, ugh. It's like, I bet you laughed at me for being so awkward. He's like, no, you were beautiful. It's like, I'd expect praise from you. That's unusual. It's like, it's a festival. It's polite to lie. And she just punches him. It's like, ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's like, yeah, when you were dancing, all that weight from the headdress was throwing you off. It's like, stop laughing and help me with this. It's like, okay, okay. And he takes her hat off. Her hair is just all frizzy and rumpled. He's like, oh, come on. My hair tangles so easily. He's like, it's been a while since I heard you complain about your hair. He's like, I mean... And he notices that she's gripping the little wooden box with a hairpin. And she goes, Huck? And he grabs her hand that's on top of the hairpin. And he just slowly leans in closer as she's trying to say Huck. And he takes his hands away and goes, I did promise not to joke like that with you again. And you have a rustle as the fire quelling festival is winding down. Let's go back to Yuna and the others. And she's like, okay. And you see her just looking a little bit disappointed as Huck turns and walks away. Alright. Not too much, too many thoughts to have regarding this one. There's just a lot of plot advancement on this one with them going to the Kai Empire, things like that. But I did like that we got a little bit more backstory relationship between Huck and Suwon, specifically because I think that's been part of like the trifecta of, between Huck, Suwon, and Yona has been missing a little bit. So it's kind of gives us a little bit more context to, the hurt and betrayal that Huck feels, where he's like, he respected, admired, and looked up to Suwon. And you're being told by Suwon as well, he also looked up to, respected, and admired Huck as well, despite Huck thinking that, being powerful isn't something, exceptional or brilliant or useful. So it's interesting to see, the kind of contrast and see that develop in that relationship. Like, it gives it a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say backstory, but it gives a little bit more depth to Huck and Suwon's relationship specifically. I'm curious because I don't know if the person that Suwon talked to at the beginning was the kidnapper, or if that was just one of the other people from the gambling house. But I like, again, how we're seeing, like, even this early on, how Suwon was kind of going into the towns around the palace, going into the cities, developing relationships with, the undesirables, going to like the seedier places, developing a relationship with them, developing friendships, camaraderie with them. Because it feels like, this is setting up for like the idea that even very early on, I don't know if this was, Suwon just did this just because that was what his personality was like, or if he was doing this because he always expected, even from an early age, that at some point he would take over the empire. So I'm looking forward to eventually getting like a little bit more development backstory for him specifically, like what kind of drove him to the place he's at now. But yeah, I like the little setup, the little hints, little developments we're seeing. I like that we're finally starting to get like a little bit more headway with the Yona Huck romance. We're starting to see like, Yona starting to kind of try to contextualize her feelings for Huck, in this new environment. Now that she's away from everything she's kind of held familiar, and she's forced to kind of reevaluate, her relationships and everything else. So it was a good bit of development seeing that finally starting to heat up a little bit. But yeah, good story, still liking it. Excited to see where the Kai Empire stuff is going to go. Like I mentioned in the channel update, I'm going to try to get to the next volume read through next week sometime. I was going to try to get one done for Lazarus today as well, but time and it's too hot. So I'll probably put that off until next week as well. But yeah, as always, thank you all for tuning in for these videos. I hope you do enjoy them. And if you do, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help me out a lot. Especially because I would really love to get over the 150 subscriber limit at some point in the near future. With that said, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.